Hey folks, this is Vagrant. Welcome back to Horizon Forbidden West. In the last video, we took down an Apex Slaughter Spine, and we did things, and things were good. And I am yet again, I'm just like a little bit lower than max health. I constantly, like 20 below. It's very disconcerting. Anywho, so as I said in the last video, I think what we're going to do for a little bit is focus on the main quest. Now, what that means, rather inevitably, is that this first half of the video is going to basically be nothing but chatting. Because it always is when we return to the base after a major thing. There's lots of people to catch up with. There's even more people to catch up with now that Alva has moved down here as well. So if you like the chatty bits, then you're in for a treat. If you don't like the chatty bits, then you're probably watching the wrong game, if we're totally honest. But you might want to skip forward. Not that I should condone such behaviour.
May we speak?
Oh no, they both got things. So I'm going to chat to everyone, so.
There she is. Heard you had an interesting time at Thebes.
Maniacs, lava. What's not to like?
I'll remember that next time I go traveling.
At least I got what we needed to trap Hephaestus.
Good thing I got my gear ready then.
You look tired.
Ha! You never want to hold back, are you? I've just been making sure that I got everything down for this mission of yours. I wouldn't want to be the usual screw-up out there.
You'll do fine, Errant. Have you spoken with Alva yet?
Yeah, when she's not reading the archives like a giddy kid drinking her first ale. She took to that new focus quick, that's for sure. I gotta say, I'm a little jealous. But I can see why you two hit it off.
I found out who's running the Sons of Prometheus. A woman named Sarah.
Oh no. Remember how Durval had a band of freebooters that retaliated against the Carja? She was one of them. First female tinker in the claim to run her own forge. But when her family got killed in the Red Raids, she went bad. Real bad. I thought she was dead though, taken out by one of Murad's guys.
Well, she's not. And she wants revenge against the Carja. We have to find out where she's operating from, and stop her.
I haven't had any luck finding someone with a focus at chain scrapes, so I'll be scouting out Barren Light next.
I'll keep tracking her lackeys out west.
We'll find her. We have to. It's thugs like her who murdered my sister.
That was surprisingly little
I
chat.
should get going.
As soon as you want us heading out to those cauldrons.
I'll give you the heads up.
I mean, look, I get it, you know, vigilante justice, bad, murder, bad, blah, blah, blah. However, I kind of get it. After the Red Raids, I kind of get why they'd be pissed and they'd want revenge. Who wouldn't?
From the look on your face, I'd say the mission was a success.
I got Omega clearance. Is everyone ready to head out to Cauldron Gemini?
As soon as you give the word.
Did Alva make it here all right?
Our new Quen friend. The moment she laid eyes on the archives, she jumped on them like a long leg.
Sounds about right. Now that I have Omega clearance, we can grab Hephaestus and finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once.
And I'm sure it'll all go off without a hitch.
Once Gaia is back up and running, I expect you to put all your training to good use.
The seeds have been planted. All they need is a chance to bloom. What? I thought that was pretty good. Zoe liked it.
I'm glad you and Zoe found each other.
Don't forget, you're to blame for that.
I should go get this to Gaia.
Of course. Let us know when we're needed.
Maybe this won't be as chatty an episode as I thought it would. I'm quite excited to go to the cauldron. Zoe.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. Have you met our new Quen guest yet?
I could barely keep up as she gave herself a tour of the base. Varl gave her a new focus. Though when he told her she was free to access all the data we had here, she turned so pale I thought she'd faint on the spot. We showed her to the archive room so she could see for herself. She hasn't left the place since.
Sounds like Alva.
Oh, I also wanted to give you this. For helping with the land gods. Plainsong is in your debt.
Thank you, Zoe.
You deserve much more for all you've done. May the land always bloom in your steps.
And yours? Read anything interesting lately?
I found out the old ones use leaf infusions like the Utaru do. Tea, they call it. Apparently it helped soothe them. That and some sort of scented wax they used to cleanse their aura. Plus something called bubble baths. I think I'll stick to singing to calm the nerves.
You're missing out, so. Not that I've had a bath in about 20 years. Nor do I own any candles. Actually, I do own a candle. I don't know where it is, though. Do I own any tea? I don't own any tea.
Varl looks pretty focused.
He's been obsessing over the data revealed to us by Poseidon. Just the other day, we read about mountains hiding deep underwater that spew fire. If I understand correctly, Gaia said the flames they release come from the very center of the earth. Like a heart, beating with the life of the world. As always, the cycle can be found in even the most unlikely of places. Of course, Varl's mostly interested in watching explosions happen underwater.
It's interesting, actually, because you kind of normalize the planet, you know, because we live here, we're kind of used to it, blah, 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 blah. We see all nature documentaries and stuff. Then you hear things spoken through the words of someone who would find all of this amazing, and it does make you realise, yeah, okay, the planet's pretty cool.
I assume you've been looking into Demeter now that Gaia's merged with it?
Yes. It's been humbling to know that the seeds I carry in this pouch came in turn from the seeds saved for Demeter in the old world. It gives me hope that the cycle of life will prevail now, just as it did before.
How are things with everyone?
Slightly quieter. Aaron's been busy scouring data on his newest obsession. Apparently the old ones wrestled machines as some kind of performance. Called it metal versus meat. A must-see battle between steel and flesh, as Aaron likes to put it. You'd think we have enough of that going around as it is.
Is that a... Do people actually... I assume it's a thing, because there's that Man vs. Steel film with... Oh, what's his name? Hugh... No. The guy who plays Wolverine, what's his name? Oh, god damn it. Oh, it's going to bug the bejeebus out of me. Australian lad. Might be New Zealand, I'm very sorry. Ah! Right, you talk, I'll Google.
How to go with the chorus after we fix the land gods?
They were shocked when I told them that our lands would soon be on the mend. I thought Fane's eyes would pop out of his head. But of course they had no choice but to take it as good news, even if it meant all their preaching about meekly accepting our doom was exposed as rot. To be honest, I found the conversation to be highly enjoyable.
I'm glad. You deserve it. They're lucky that you never gave up on saving them.
Hugh Jackman.
I need to get going.
Right. You've retrieved the Omega clearance. That means we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. I'll make sure my gear's ready.
Huge jacked man. He's a good egg, Hugh Jackman. He's a good egg. Alva must be having the time of her bloody life.
Aloy!
Right to work, I see.
She's actually
There's
adorable.
just so much. I mean, we knew of artificial beings that served the ancestors, but Gaia? Oh, she's amazing! And you, a true reincarnation of an ancestor. Genetically speaking, of course, not like the, late CO. And there's more ancestors out there, returned from beyond the stars. Of course, they're trying to kill us, which is not great. And Eric Visser is with them, which is disturbing. And then there's Hephaestus, and...
Okay. How about we take it one step at a time?
You're right. I also owe you an explanation for everything that happened at Landfall.
I see you've been using your new focus.
It's been fascinating. So much better than the version the Quen have. What would have taken me years to sort through, like the database you helped me recover, with this, I've been able to establish search parameters to speed up the process. This could revolutionize how diviners analyze the legacy. That is, whatever part of it the Overseers would actually let us study.
You wanted data, you'll find lots of it here.
A diviner has never had this sort of unsupervised access to archives such as this. And knowing you, I suspect there is much that would normally be forbidden held within them. But I was sent here to help you. I would be remiss to ignore any truth laid before me. Maybe it'll help the Quen find their way back to the path of truth.
I think you'll find fairly quickly that I'm sure she's gonna discover information that kind of just upends her entire world philosophy. The Quen just seem naive more than anything else to me.
You mentioned Eric Visser? How do you know about him?
The Zenith who tried to kill you? He is known to the Quen as the Protector. Combing through data related to his work led us to breakthroughs related to weapons and military tactics. Knowledge our rulers used to conquer and expand, to become the empire we are today. That's why he's one of our most revered ancestors. But based on your encounter with him, it appears he's even more ruthless than we ever imagined. Yet another distorted interpretation in the legacy.
Well, at least you're piecing together the truth.
If only the Overseers back home would do the same.
Beta mentioned other Zeniths. Tilda, Verbena, and Gerard.
I'm afraid I don't know anything about them. Whatever legacy they left behind, the diviners haven't recovered.
I imagine you don't know anyone here that well yet, but they're a good group.
It's funny because one of your friends is, well, another you. Not that you are the same person at all. I mean, you are, as in, you're both genetically Elizabeth Sobeck, but even so, you're different.
Yeah, we are.
She talks like I do, where it's all hands constantly. Oh no.
You wanted data, you'll find lots of...
A divine...
I misclicked.
But maybe it'll...
What a terrible thing.
I hope everyone's been treating you okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. They've all been extremely welcoming. And they share the knowledge they learn on their focuses with each other freely. It's refreshing. Back home, diviners can only share data with the permission from the Overseers.
Sounds restrictive and stifling.
Yeah, you are not wrong.
Oh.
You said you owed me an explanation for what happened in Thebes. I'm listening.
Right. I'll start at the beginning with the CO. He was an Imperial, the Emperor's nephew, in fact. As such, he sponsored many diviners to search the legacy for anything that might help the tribe, and himself. He took a special interest in anything related to Ted Faro, whom we consider the greatest of the ancestors.
Ted Faro, revered ancestor. That's tough to take.
I know better now, of course. Anyway, the diviners discovered that Faro spent a great deal of time in San Francisco. In fact, many of the most important ancestors did. So the Emperor's nephew convinced him that an expedition across the ocean might solve our most pressing problems. If only we could find the right data in this fabled city. Perhaps we could roll back the floods and storms that threatened our people. The Emperor declared that all the tribe's resources be poured into this endeavor. Dozens of ships were built, scouting missions were dispatched, and the Emperor's nephew was named CO, one who wields the legacy for the good of the Empire, the living embodiment of Ted Faro, a renewer. It may seem strange now, but for a time, he carried all of our hopes. We really believed he would save us. We had no idea just how perilous the journey would be.
I need to be able to say stuff like that more in my life. How many times in your life can you say, we had no idea how perilous the journey could be? I've never been able to say that. I've had some perilous journeys, I suppose, but I've never thought to say that. Not even that perilous, really. I've not thought I was going to die enough in my life.
You said
Only
the
once or
expedition
twice.
across the sea was more dangerous than you thought it would be. What happened?
We lost most of our ships to hurricanes, and scores of soldiers perished to hunger and disease. And that was before we even hit the coast. Once we landed, machines ripped our patrols apart, and we struggled to replenish our rations. There were bright spots, to be sure. We found Thebes and the greenhouse, but nothing improved the CEO's mood as his dreams of saving the tribe were slowly dashed. He became more and more obsessed with Thebes and what lay behind its door, and more convinced that the title of CEO was no mere honorific. You heard him, spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's essence and some kind of becoming. We knew these weren't the words of a sane man, but he was quick to put any who spoke out in front of a firing squad.
What a great guy.
The Quen are wrong about many things when it comes to the legacy. I can see that now. But what the CO became was a complete perversion of what principled diviners stand for. The pursuit of truth. I'm sorry you had to endure his madness. I'm just glad it's over. For everyone.
So, Bohai, your overseer. Will he run things better than CEO?
He won't execute people on a whim, if that's what you mean. But he's hardly a paragon of integrity. I can't tell you how many times he took credit for data in the legacy that I uncovered. The best thing I can say about him is that he can be trusted to always do what's best for him.
Yep, sounds about right.
I like you, Alva, but the entirety of the rest of the Quen do not seem fantastic, it must be said.
The ancestors, is that what your people call the old ones?
Yes and no. The ancestors are the greatest of the old ones. Those whose legacy taught us agriculture, medicine, warfare, leadership, and patronage of the science and arts.
The CEO called Elizabeth Sobek an assistant. What's that about?
Right. Well, any old one who has made minor contributions or worked extensively under one of the ancestors is called an assistant. That's how we thought of Sobek, until we met you. Our limited access to data past the late 2040s has obviously misinformed our view of the past.
There's a lot to be said here about how fragmented history can skew the truth so wildly.
Back at the greenhouse, you spoke of knowledge forbidden to your people.
Diviners are meant to seek out the truth in the legacy, and many Imperials sponsor them in the hopes they'll find something the Empire can put to use, thus gaining favor with the Emperor. But the Board of Overseers claims certain truths are detrimental to the stability of the Empire, like discovering one of our revered ancestors ended the world. That is why diviners are only allowed to access segments of the legacy. Only overseers can view it all. It ensures that any heretical data can be contained and retrieved before it can spread.
What happens to diviners who break the rules?
I never had the courage to ask.
This is all very Christian of you, isn't it?
You mentioned the reason you came here was to help your family. Your sister...
Her name is Alika. Our parents are commoners. Peasants, really. When I passed the divination exams, they were so proud. It brought honor to our family and increased rations. Only Alika begged me not to leave for the research academy.
Why? What happens there?
Alika knew that once you enter, you're not allowed to leave or see anyone, not even your family. Unless you can get special permission and an escort by an overseer.
That sounds harsh.
Like the focuses we keep, diviners are few in number, and the Empire is, well, fearful that outsiders will try to steal our knowledge. Last time I was allowed to see my family was just before our voyage here. Because of my position, I was able to get them refuge from the floods within the capital. But if our crops don't recover soon, they'll starve to death along with everyone else.
I promise I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't come to that. I need to get going, but if you need anything...
All I need is to help you succeed in your mission. The plan Gaia told me about, to capture Hephaestus, it will help set things right.
I hope so.
Then I will do whatever I can. I promise.
You're a good egg, Alva. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Where's that thing? That chest? Now we'll talk to Katalo.
Aloy, well met.
Well
We've
met.
been briefed on our mission, and are ready whenever you wish to head to Cauldron Gemini.
I feel like I should get him his arm before we do that.
How are your studies going?
I wanted to learn more about the world of the Old Ones.
And?
I looked up this pharaoh Gaia said you went looking for, and learned about the plague of machines he unleashed. To think that the ancient world was wiped out by... a mistake. A single miscalculation. There is no glory or honor in such a fate. Only hubris. And pointless death.
That about sums it up. Have you spoken with Alva?
The Quen is peculiar. Nothing like a Tenakth. Her mind is sharp, that much is certain. But it's hard to imagine her surviving in the wilds.
Trust me. She's tougher than she looks.
I will take your word for it.
I have to go now.
Then do not let me keep you.
We'll get him his arm before we do anything else. I'd feel very mean if I didn't really. Where's that little resource chest out? If I was a resource chest, I would be over here. Okay, just need to talk to...
I'm quite certain that it's a unique situation.
I know that. But if there was a true I'd run for the hills and never look back. Come on, I'm being serious. So am I.
I'll find it eventually. That's the exit, isn't it? God knows where that actually is. Okay, this should be it. Just want to go talk to Beta. Those doors are still locked. Wait. Isn't this the door we usually go through? Maybe she's locked herself in. Okay. I swear this is you. Isn't this... What? Where?
I don't think that door had power before, but... looks like it's malfunctioning. Looks like some kind of maintenance space.
Alright. Okay. It's interesting because we keep kind of unlocking new parts of this whole place, but I very rarely feel like it really leads anywhere interesting. You know, I don't feel like we gain anything from it most of the time.
Power cells? Huh.
I did need power cells. Can't really remember why now, but I did need power cells. Can I open this from... No. Okay, we'll grab a power cell. That's why there's two, I suppose. Charge open the door, and then we take that round to the other door, and that'll be it. Let's have a little poke. Maybe I'm just in the wrong area for where Beta is. I don't bloody know.
That door won't open. But maybe if it had power...
Okay, so I can get the power cells out. Do I know where? Do I need it in here? I can't take it up, can I? That's not gonna work. I don't know where to put it. Okay. Keep an eye out. I do remember needing a power cell. Was it even here? Was it like somewhere else entirely?
Is it me, or did the old ones just look funny? Yeah, they're close. They're weird.
I'm very confused about where Beta is. I actually have no idea where Beta is. I'm super confused. Not a bloody clue.
Guess they didn't move around as much.
I've never really got my head around this place. It's all very sort of familiar looking. Like everywhere looks roughly the same. Let's go talk to Gaia, and then before we set off on the mission officially, we'll go get Katala's mission done as well. There we go.
There we go. More data for the dome.
There's 2 left to go. Oh. Oh.
I like
This is
this
nice.
one.
I like this one too. Right in the middle of the redwoods. I love that.
Aloy, I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new problem.
Did something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus itself. It has accelerated its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your sub-functions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct. But the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my current estimate is that the merge will take 35 hours.
And each hour increases the risk of detection by the Zeniths. Two cores. 2 overrides. What if the merge were carried out by 2 clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of 2 operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.5 hours.
Okay. Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse generators ready?
Only a final test remains. I am confident that if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the Zeniths.
Good. As long as Aaron can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here. Beta's in bad shape.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I couldn't see Beta. We'll talk to Gaia while we're here.
Aloy,
I know. I just wanted to talk about something else first.
as you wish.
Have to catch up, Gaia.
How's Alva settling in?
As soon as she arrived, Alva was eager to study the data in the archive. A particular file soon caught her attention. Information about a machine assistant devoted to keeping living spaces neat and orderly. I informed her that once I am empowered with the abilities of Hephaestus, I may be able to design such a machine.
I'm sure she'll like that.
A Roomba?
So I, found Thebes. What do you think Ted would have done if his life extension treatments had worked?
It seems he convinced himself it was his duty to guide future humans. Given the tribal nature of new humans, and his ability to use Omega clearance on the terraforming system, I imagine he would have convinced one or more tribes to worship him as their patriarchal deity.
Okay. Yep, glad that didn't happen.
But now we have a mega clearance. We can be the matriarchal deity.
Aside from Gaia Prime and Thebes, there was one other underground facility that was sealed before the Pharaoh Plague reached it. Elysium. The place where Zero Dawn staff and their families went to live out their lives. Do you know what happened to it?
Elysium was designed to provide life support for 100 years. My data indicates the facility went offline well before then.
Did the Pharaoh Plague find them?
Unknown. My connection to the facility was abruptly severed.
I'll be off.
Farewell, for now.
Right. Yeah, this will be why we weren't able to find Beta before. I'm sure she was in that room right in front of our face with the red boundary on it. Is that a metal flower? It is a metal flower. Cursed beast. Yeah, what's this one? I knew I wasn't crazy. That's very reassuring.
Aloy. I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think anything will convince her to go.
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
And now you're bloody open. Cheeky little blighter.
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you. Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone, in a cell again. Their slave. Forever. The only way we can end the risk of that happening is by stopping the Zeniths for good. And in order to do that, we have to get Hephaestus. The Zeniths are a threat to everyone, Beta, not just you. So find your courage. That's easy for you to say. You still have no idea what they're capable of. I told you from the beginning we'll never beat them. It's hopeless. Beta. Leave me alone! You don't understand! You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't. I look through all the data from your focus. You were raised as an outcast, shunned, and isolated just like me, so what's the difference? What's my defect?
I'm going to pause just for a sec to explain this. I'm going to have to shut the window. We have a guy around taking a look at the roof. Oh, you have to bear with me here, folks. We have a guy around taking a look at the roof, and it's making noise unexpectedly. And also, I need to find clothing. Bear with me. Oh, got that. I'll do. Come here. There's a certain level of clothing that's acceptable when you're on your own recording in your bedroom. Unfortunately, my bedroom looks out, as I've said, onto the front of the house. It's actually super annoying, because it means I can quite literally never lie in bed with the curtains open. Because it looks right out onto a public footpath, and everyone can see me, and it's super awkward. Yep. Okay. Window awkwardly shut. We continue.
Beta. You don't have a defect. Beta. Look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth. The difference is, I had him. Frost.
You have to be the Frost for Beta.
Trained you, but he was never warm or loving. The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough. What did it feel like? It was like having a strength that was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad. When it looks impossible, look deeper. And then fight like you can win. You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You're right. I'll only be safe from them when we succeed. But you have to promise me one thing. Yes, of course. If it goes bad, if the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand? Okay. Promise? I promise. I could use as much time as you can give me to study up on the merge, to make it as efficient as possible. I'll be ready when you are. I swear.
I'm gonna have to find you some more appropriate clothing, I think. Oh, there's a quest.
Whenever you are ready, come speak to me and I'll ask the others to make final preparations for the mission.
Place looks nice with some
Quest? From
And dirt.
Alva?
Don't forget all that dirt we had to bring in.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just studying the pulse generator schematics. The ones Gaia and Beta built. The craftsmanship is remarkable. Is everything all right? It sounded like there was an issue with Beta and the mission.
Not anymore. We just needed to talk some things through.
To understand one another is to embrace truth. Oh, and if you have a moment, there's something I could use your help with.
Any more data catch your eye?
All of it? I have so much to study up on. Years, actually. I'm particularly interested in the Odyssey. We knew the ancestors had made it to the moon. In fact, we theorized some of them had settled on it. But Sirius is way farther than that. And we thought journeying across the ocean would be the feat of a lifetime. The sheer calculations needed for space travel, it's overwhelming to think about.
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this stuff. Where I grew up, everyone thought that stars were sparks that rose from a fire lit by the goddess to guide us through the night. Must be strange to think that some of the ancestors your tribe reveres are still alive. And here on Earth, right now.
Yeah, it is. Part of me's curious to know who else besides Eric Visser might be among them. Maybe Nikita Arand? We call her the Spark. The legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old ones. Or Sung Jiao, whom we call the Healer. It is said she found new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespans. But my curiosity fades when I think of how different our view of Visser was compared to the reality that you experienced. Perhaps it is better not to know.
Have you spoken with Zoe at all?
A little bit, but I did hear her singing with Varl not too long ago. I don't think they noticed. Zoe seemed so free when she did it. Like every emotion she had was taking flight in song. And she looked happier because of it. I felt so dull and nervous in comparison.
You should ask Zoe to teach you sometime. About Utaru music.
Maybe.
If you need anything before heading out to the cauldrons.
You have nothing to worry about. Gaia's explained your plan in detail, as expected from such an efficient AI. I've even received some very, succinct combat advice from Kotalo. You know, in case the Zeniths show up.
What kind of advice?
He, told me to run.
For now. We'll even the odds soon enough.
Just, I see so much of myself in how she talks. Like, just the hand movements are perfect. It's great.
You mentioned there was something you needed help with?
Yes. So, as I was sifting through data from the greenhouse, I found references to an old world system back in the Great Delta. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it decades ago. A sprawling network of river gates and a labyrinth of underground tunnels. The legacy revealed that the old ones used it to control flooding. But we've never gotten it to work. The whole thing is shut down. But the data from the greenhouse mentions the research facility where Leviathan was created. It's in San Francisco.
Another Pharaoh facility?
No. Leviathan was a project by Eileen Sasaki, another ancestor. So the legacy tells us, anyway. If we can acquire that data, we might be able to fix the system back in the Great Delta. Every year, my sister gets terrified when the long rains begin. With Leviathan, maybe she won't have to be.
Okay. So, where in San Francisco is this facility?
That's the thing. The data doesn't say where, exactly. But one of our diviners has been exploring the ruins. He might know. Would you come with me? I have a feeling that wherever this facility is, well, you're much better at fighting machines than I am.
Of course. I'll let you know when I'm in landfall.
Thank you, Aloy.
I should go. Make sure you talk to Gaia if you have any questions about the pulse generators.
May your path lead to truth.
And, like I said, I'll let you know when I'm in landfall. We'll find the data you're after.
I appreciate it.
Oh, everyone's got more things to say. So much talking.
Hey, I thought I'd check in before leaving for Gemini.
Are you sure we shouldn't be checking up on you? Whatever went on between you and Beta sounded intense. Not that I'm judging. Forge knows all the screws flew loose every time Mercer and I fought.
I think we'll be fine from now on.
I'm glad to hear it.
After we get Hephaestus, we'll be taking the fight to the Zeniths. So, no more reading.
It wasn't that bad. Not really. Besides, going through all that data helped me realize something. You know, the soldiers, the ones that fought the Pharaoh machines so Gaia could be built, they were fighting a battle that couldn't be won. Not with all the weapons in the world. I think most of them realized that, whether anyone said it or not. They still did it, though. They bought time for all the eggheads working to save the future. Our future. As long as I can do that for you, I'll consider myself a success.
Thank you, Erend. I'm glad you're with me.
Yeah, okay, enough. I'm gonna get emotional.
Anybody take you up on that ale you brought yet?
Zoe can't stand the smell of it. I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking a break means. And I'm not putting Varl anywhere near that stuff after that victory party in Meridian.
What about Catalo?
Ah, now there's a man that can hold his liquor. Pretty sure we downed half a keg. We had a good chat, I think.
I kind of want to get drunk for someone. sudden impulse.
I should go.
That same here. I got a date with a cauldron to prepare for.
You know, at the start of this video, I thought this will be the shortest talking video. Nobody's really saying much. And yet it's been 45 minutes. Time has absolutely zoomed by.
Aloy, everything okay with you and Beta? It sounded like you guys had a, lively conversation.
We just had a lot to talk about.
Does this mean she's coming with us to Gemini?
It does. I hope you're ready to rein in the most stubborn AI of all time.
That's what all this was for, wasn't it?
Hephaestus won't go down quietly.
Hephaestus is just a program that's lost its way. We are fighting for our survival. I can always call upon the goddess if you're nervous.
Funny.
Jeez.
Any last findings you want to share before leaving?
Not really. Though I've reached a decision.
Oh?
When we put Gaia together, I want to return to the Nora. Spread what I've learned.
You think they'll listen to you?
In time, I believe so.
If anyone can make it happen, it's you, Varl.
It's funny, despite being a Nora, the Nora are probably the least impactful clan in the entire game. I mean, they don't feature in this game at all. They weren't that big a feature in the last game either, from what I remember. It felt very Karja focused, really.
What will you and Zoe do if you go back to the Embrace?
I hope she'll come with me. At least for a while. And I'll go with her to Plainsong too. She'll probably want to talk to her people about all this as well. We'll figure it out.
I know you will. I hope firing off those pulse generators will be enough to distract the Zeniths.
It'll work. It has to.
Always optimistic, huh?
Nah, just stubborn. It's a good quality to have when dealing with you.
Yeah, right. How does everyone seem to you?
Anxious, but ready. I heard Catalo ask for Alva's help with his pulse generator. And I know he's been helping her with a few fighting techniques, just in case.
I hope they aren't needed.
Like I said, just in case.
You were right, you know. About keeping Rost's memories buried. I guess part of me thought he was holding me back. Because he wanted me to be a Nora. But the truth is, he gave me a lot. And I took him for granted.
He was a good man. He raised you well.
I'm glad you're coming with me, Varl.
Sure there's no urge to run off alone in there somewhere?
No more running.
I'm nearly there, folks.
Hey, we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. You good with the plan?
I've already got the location of my assigned cauldron.
Good.
I heard you and Beta had a talk.
News travels fast.
It wasn't exactly a quiet conversation.
There were just things that needed to be said.
A healthy crop to those who clear the weeds between them, as the Utaru say.
Say for bloody everything, don't they?
You look like you have something on your mind.
We're going to war soon. And war is something I promised myself I'd left behind in the Red Raids. But the more of your data I go through, every voice I hear, every word I read from our ancient past, it makes me realize just how much life was given so that ours could flourish. Fighting for that gift, it's our responsibility. If we fail, it was all for naught.
Helps to know you're not alone.
For a moment there, you sounded like Varl.
I don't know what you're talking about. I should go.
As soon as you intend to leave for Gemini,
You'll hear about it.
Catalo! The only one we need to talk to again, I believe. Also, I want to check in over here. Don't think we actually came back here since the last thingamajiggy. I can't do any of them. Bloody Nora. Because I've been using all the earth grinders constantly. Man, these are some top level machines as well. Let's try jobs for all of them just in case. I can't really see a reason to override a Thunderjaw. You'd have to be in a situation where there's a Thunderjaw.
Nothing.
And then
Look good. That's all.
like a ton of other things that you would need help with killing in the same area. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, why would you need the Thunderjaw? Also, how do you take a Thunderjaw? You sneak up on it? I guess you probably have to knock it down.
Aloy, are you well?
Had a bit of an issue with Beta. It's better now, though.
Ah, I'm not surprised.
Really? Why not?
I once knew a warrior who discovered he had a brother late in life. It was deeply uncomfortable for him.
Did he ever get over it?
In time. But not before the two siblings nearly killed each other in a single combat challenge.
Ah. Well, at least I avoided that. Think you're ready to put all your training to the test?
I am Tenakth. I am always ready.
Fair enough.
You nervous about the mission ahead?
If I live, it will be in victory. If I die, it will be in battle. What matters most is that you achieve your objective.
I'll do my best. I should go get ready.
I await your orders.
50 minutes of chatting. Now, what I've been wanting to say for the entire bloody thing. It's got shades to me, this, of the Mass Effect 2... the Mass Effect 2 suicide mission. And the best way to ensure that everyone survives on the suicide mission was to... I mean, it doesn't have that morbidity to it, don't get me wrong. But the best way to survive the suicide mission was A, you had to make certain choices. But you also had to complete everyone's quest beforehand to make them trust you and make them... blah, 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 blah. Now, I suspect that's not the case. I don't think Forbidden West is that kind of game. But, just in case... before we do the next main mission, we will be doing the quests for Katalo and for Alva. So it's that one, and no, it's these two, isn't it? Get 8 minutes of it done, I suppose.
Zenith Lab's around here. That's where Katalo said we'd find what he needs to build... Hey, Katalo? I'm at the Zenith Lab. Ready to come over?
I'm on my way. Aloy, I appreciate you meeting me here.
I'm happy to help. Did Gaia mention where exactly in the Zenith Lab we'd find what you need?
She mentioned the chamber where you found Beta, and the database that lies within. She said it'll help us find the knowledge and components I require to build a new arm.
At least we know where to look. We will have to be quick about it, in case the Zeniths are watching.
Understood.
Some very pretty lighting here. There's some soft pinks in the blue shadows. It's very nice.
The lab's up this way.
How does he climb? That is impressive. Come on, Katalo. Let him go. What a hero.
You okay?
I got this.
Machines.
Absolute chat.
Scrapping the specters for parts.
Should we dispose of them?
Or we can sneak past them.
Your choice.
I suppose there's actually no need to kill them anymore, so I don't get XP for it. I mean, we get loot. I'm not gonna get much from things like this, but still. Can I silent strike this?
Battle it is.
Why does it seem so tiny? Am I crazy? It looks absolutely minuscule.
One I need to finish you. End them.
Entrance to the lab is by that tunnel. Come
There's
on.
an apex.
We should continue.
Should have stocked up on healing items before I came here, but oh well. What you gonna do? But yeah, it definitely has sort of that vibe of the Mass Effect 2 thing. Obviously, Erend and Varl kind of trust us implicitly already. We did Zoe's quest. We helped out the land gods. That was a really good quest. We're doing this for Katalo. Beta's coming along anyway. We need to do something. So basically, the 3 companions who would maybe need bringing on side to trust Aloy a little bit more all have a quest.
Hard to believe, but yeah.
Gaia said the Zeniths made incredible discoveries here. But in the end, they only used such knowledge for selfish purposes.
At least now we can use it to do something good.
Enemies up ahead.
They caught on.
I will not. The blade is only halfway in.
Part of me is very tempted to pick up that melee
better get a move
set
on
from
it.
the arena
The room
and
we
build
found
like
Beta in
a
is up ahead.
melee focused
way.
build. I think it'd be quite a lot of fun, you know, pick melee. Yeah, just pick loads of melee stuff and focus on Pachoo! Whatever it's called. I can't actually remember what it's called anymore. Pachoo! You know what I mean. My brain is not working today. I forgot Hugh Jackman. I forgot the Pachoo. What is it called? Resonator Blast, that's it. I do worry about my memory sometimes. It's really bad and getting worse. Minor concern.
Is that it down there?
Yep, we better make our way down there. We're here. Now we just need to find a way to access the database Gaia was talking about.
Don't think we're supposed to go. Varl mentioned you found Beta in one of those pods. I would hate to be locked up inside such a thing. There's barely room to breathe.
What am I doing? Search the storage room for an access point. Okay. If I was an access point, where would I be? Maybe over there.
I think I found what we're looking for.
Let's hope it holds the answers we seek.
I'll download the database to your focus. See.
What's that? I just thought with the it's very matrixy. I know I say that a lot, but the red and then the sort of that blue, it's the color rate. It's not just the machines, it's that red glow with that kind of somber blue background, you know what I mean? Oh. Oh. There we go. Wait, maybe a better pose. Aloy, come back. Oh man, I didn't hate that. I kind of killed it. Oh.
I can search through it later.
What about the components?
They should be somewhere on the... Spectres!
For the fallen marshals!
Alright, calm down. Okay. Oh, bear with me.
What? You can't kill a one-armed soldier?
did I hit so much harder? I used concentration, which I think boosts my damage. But seriously, that was so much higher. Oh, you know what I need? Power shots! Explosives! You bloody mind.
How much more will it take? Hit it there again! Take them down!
Oh, I was waiting for the explosion. Wait, am I still on? Let me just double check my difficulty. Yeah, normal. Okay.
The Zeniths might send reinforcements. We need to finish up and get out of here. The components should be somewhere on the second floor.
I'm right behind you.
Well, that was slightly ominous. Alright, we'll end it there. Yeah, those explosives, those spike throws are absolutely nutty. They're so good. Yeah, next video we'll finish off Cthulhu's quest, we'll go do Alva's quest, and then we are going to do the main quest, at least until... I don't know. Maybe I just want to do the main quest until the end now. I kind of feel like when you're in the end game of the main quest, you should keep doing it to maintain momentum. So I think we'll kind of just carry on, because I'm assuming we'll be allowed to carry on and do side quests once the game is completed. I'd be very sad if not, so... Anyways, we'll end it there. Thank you very much for joining me. Cheers much as always. Bye-bye.